the time is now. Past and future don't exist how we think it is. It's just the moment, all we have. And that's what you should lean into. When you try to get into your head about why, what I should do, why this happened to me, you get stuck in like a thought loop. You get stuck in trying to satisfy or understand why something just should make sense or why it doesn't make sense to you. And we just try to wrestle with that and control that. And I think we lose all our power when we give into this idea of time and like how it's constructed, and the time is now. If you have a dream that you want to fulfill or create, this is the moment. This is your sign. Use me as a sign. I'm making this video. I'm your sign. You go after it and you chase it, because you thinking about the past, bringing that into the present, bringing all the worry, or you taking the future and you pulling that in to this moment and you getting anxious about it, is just honestly just wrecking your nervous system. And it's just causing you to dwell within your imagination, which isn't real, which you should use to create a better reality and a better world for yourself. But when you let your imagination hijack that and hijack your gifts. But anyways, as I was saying, you have to override your mind, and basically all the thoughts and all the energy you push out into the past or you push out into the future are just gonna basically split your energy so that you don't have a single line of focus into what you really want. If you really want to create a better future, then this is the best time to start. You have to start in the moment. There's not going to be a better time for you to do something. There wasn't a better time for you to do something in the past. This moment is all that you have, and it is all that you will ever have. The future isn't promised. The past already happened, so it's best just to let it go. And putting limitations on how we create and how we perceive the world around us is really doing us such a deep injustice. How we think back on the past and we think, oh, well, that'll be better. Or how we look to the future and we think, oh, well, it's going to get better here because of this and that. And no, don't forego and veto your power just because you don't feel like you have a sense of control now. If you could fully trust in that and take root in the present, there's steps you could take with whatever is going on, with whatever you have going on. So heavily lean into that power. Time management is crucial because it doesn't exist in the way that you think it does, but yet your body will still react to the things, the thoughts and the emotions that you feel in the current present. I've even noticed myself, I create time within like periods of existence, as in like the time that I went to Disneyland or the time I was in love. And I feel like what we do is we create these periods, or we look back on them with a sense of nostalgia, like, oh, it was so much better then, or it'll be so much better in the future. And I think what we do is we completely just squander like being present, because we're always trying to escape. We're always trying to get away from how we really feel in the moment, because we always feel that where we're at right now just isn't satisfactory. It just isn't good enough. But every time that we escape from that feeling and we don't settle into it, or we don't honor and acknowledge it, we just get pulled right back in, because the past that you were looking and you were so fond of, like, it wasn't good. Like, go back to your ex. Like, that wasn't good. There's a reason why that person is in your past. And there's a reason why the stuff that you wait for in the future has yet to come, because you're not prepared for it and you haven't yet put the work in for it. But if you were to sit in the moment and take root with it and let that seed sprout, because there's always going to be moments of darkness whenever you first initially start creating something. There's always going to be doubt. There's always going to be worry. But the thing is, it's not about responding to the worry and trying to escape from it and getting carried away with it. It's about using that as fuel and using that as a sense of motivation, and knowing that there's always going to be a polarity. There's always going to be a push and there's going to be a pull with it. So if you have worry, then that means you also have like an inkling of knowing that it could go right. If you have fear, you also have an inkling of knowing that you could have the courage to push through this. And I think we shouldn't put so many rules on our creation. We shouldn't put so many rules on how we exist and how we experience the world, because we're the only person doing that. Of course, the society has things that you should do, you should say, you should be this person. But ultimately, that's all in your head because you reinforce it. And I think a lot of people are more superstitious than what we're led to believe. We think that, oh, well, money's evil, so if I get too much of it, then my life will be ruined in some way, or I can't do this, I can't be that person because people won't like me that way. But you know in your heart that's who you really are. And you know that if you take steps to water and bring attention to what really you want to grow, because nobody else will do that for you. Attention is like water, you know. It's like this energy that will grow things. The more you look at it, the more it'll look back at you and feed you with insights and new ideas. So if you could do that to yourself, like if you could think, like even right now watching this video, if there's like an idea or like a passion you have, a concept, just sit with it and just think about it for like at least like a minute. You know, kudos for you if you do it for 5 minutes. But because especially now, like there's so much to distract you. There's so much to slowly nibble away at your time. Not just you thinking about the past and the future, but also scrolling, also distractions. All of these things slowly accumulate, and then you just lost so much of what you could have designated for something else. Because I feel like time is like the life force energy, but we don't really have a way to describe it. So we just say like, oh, we experience a lifetime. But I think your time is your life and your life is your time, vice versa. So what you spend the most time doing is what you spend the most time giving your life to. And what do you give your life to? Is it something that you enjoy? Are you fulfilling somebody else's dream? And I don't know, for me personally, that's something I'm really trying to get into, because I know what it's like just looking at like goofy, corny stuff on the internet, these cringeworthy memes and whatnot. And I think it's funny, this stuff is cute and it's cool. But at the end of the day, like on my deathbed, if I get flashbang with a bunch of crazy ass memes, bro, my life will be way too sad. Like I need there to be some sustenance. I need there to be something beautiful. I need something to give my life shine, you know? So, yeah. But if you stayed and you watched this whole video, I really appreciate you. I'm out in nature, baby. It's beautiful. We're out here. I'm looking at the sun. I got 2 suns. I'm looking at shining down upon me. And just get out in nature, because honestly, when you're stuck inside of a box, which is just like a container, which just like kind of traps you and like holds you in, you just feel limited. I always feel limited. It's like not much to do. I just want to play the game or whatever, or dissociate for who knows how long, when. But when you're out here, just be like nature, because nature just is constantly growing, even over pavement, like man-made stuff. Nature eventually consumes it, and let your imagination be that. Not in the, I'm gonna worry about this, or I'm gonna think about this, I feel this way, but really hold that and just let your imagination run free.